My winner is Giannis.
Who's number 3?
Victor Wembanyama.
What?
I went with,
So that's your hot take.
I had to save it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna try to ruin my words.
True. So that's your biggest hot take.
Yeah, like Wembanyama could win Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, look what he's doing,
Bro,
Look what he's doing, though. Like,
you have him 14th. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another BTR podcast.
Before we get started, please like, comment, and subscribe, and help us get to 200 subscribers by the end of this month.
Yeah, we're getting closer and closer. Make sure you guys follow our socials: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube Shorts. So subscribe. Audio listeners, make sure you guys download it, and if you enjoy it, 5-star rating. And if you guys are listening through audio, go over to the YouTube, like it, subscribe, and vice versa. If you're watching or listening on YouTube and you also like to listen on audio platforms like Spotify, go over, rate it 5 stars and download it. As mentioned before, this is a strict NBA episode. No other sports will be mentioned unless some breaking news happens. But yeah, for the most part, it's NBA season officially today. As we told you during yesterday's podcast, the tier list will be out sometime this week. It's already filmed, recorded. We just got to fix some things on the video that YouTube decided to deny. And
YouTube.
Sorry, YouTube. Don't screw us over. But
Wow, I don't apologize.
okay.
YouTube should apologize to us.
Without further ado, let's get right into it. We're going to get into some news before we get into our quote-unquote script of the season. Our predictions.
Standings.
So, in this video, we're going to talk about the signings. We're going to have our overall reactions, maybe some hot takes, our standing predictions, our awards predictions, in-season tournament, etc. The one thing we're not doing is predicting every single All-Star or All-NBA because no point right now. All-Star, we might just talk about any first-time All-Stars on top of your head that might come to your mind. But outside of that, and then coaches on the hot seat we'll talk about as well. But yeah, mainly this is just like the standings prediction. As we mentioned many times before, this is our end of season. We're projecting a lot of this. A lot of it is on vibes. A lot of it is on rosters. A lot of it is because a lot of the awards are based on 65 games minimum played, for example. And we'll explain more when we get to that. The tier list, like as we mentioned, that's preseason currently on paper as we speak. But off the bat, let's just go to the biggest news that broke today at the time of this recording.
Giannis got locked up.
No,
he didn't. He's not in jail. But Giannis, the Bucks locked up Giannis.
Yes, okay.
Not in jail.
Yeah, so Giannis, obviously we all knew the drama of him saying that I'm not going to sign my extent Supermax yet because he wants to see how serious the team is. And literally in a couple of weeks, people didn't expect the Bucks to make the biggest move of the offseason, and they did by getting Damian Lillard. And as a result of that, he signed a 3-year, $186 million max extension, making him with a reported player option in 27-28. So, and where you could get another payday. Thing with NBA is, right, the max you can sign is 5 years if you're currently on the same team, and 4 years if you want to go to a new team. For example, Anthony Davis, I think, signed a 5-year when he was traded to the Lakers. Kawhi, when he was eligible for the 5 but chose to go to the Clippers for 4, and then, he chose less than 4, but he could have went for 4. I think he signed for 4 now. So that being said, Giannis, obviously, every time he says stuff like this, the Bucks make a trade. Last time it was Drew Holiday. This time it's Damian Lillard. Next time it's probably Luka Doncic or Shea.
Probably. I mean,
and then Damian Lillard will get traded away.
He put the Bucks on notice. The Bucks responded. The Bucks didn't have a good postseason at all. And they delivered. And now Giannis is locked up in Milwaukee.
Okay, yeah. So not much to talk about. I guess it was a little earlier than I thought.
I know. I expected this. I was like, okay.
I think there might have been an inner agreement that if you make a good move, I might sign this year, and he probably wanted it done before the year started, right? So
I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. I'll be honest with you.
True, but it takes time. We saw with Joe Burrow. It takes time.
But they're trying to get it done before the season. Get rid of all the drama during the season. Get everything locked up before the season. All the contracts.
Yeah.
The trades, and they're a contender. As simple as that.
A lot of rookie extensions happen. So first one, before we get to any of those, Clay and Warriors remain far apart from extension talks, which means Clay is in a contract year. Watch out for him because he could go off and maybe go to a different team if the Warriors don't want to pay him because they paid other guys, right? So there's one. T-Wolves signed Jaden McDaniels to 5 years and $136 million. Another player they locked up long term, but
A lot of money.
you have Mike Conley still on the roster, which I know you didn't pay him, but you traded for him.
Lot of money being
Jaden
given out.
McDaniels is obviously a deep poise and an all defensive player candidate for sure.
Rudy Gobert's there.
But you have Rudy Gobert locked up.
Karl Anthony Towns.
Carl Anthony Towns.
There's a lot of big contracts on that
Did
team.
Anthony Edwards sign anything yet? Oh, they did. Yeah, so the franchise already handed out lucrative contracts to Anthony Edwards, Carl Anthony Towns, and Rudy Gobert in that trade.
Yeah. Big contracts. A lot of big contracts.
But the problem is, it's like kind of a Canucks vibe, or like
You kind of mid.
they're mid. They're
Right,
like, tier list should be out. They're mid. Like we kind of had like maybe upper mid.
Yeah, like
that's the best way I could put it.
like 6 seed first round exit type thing.
Like for them to win it all, everything has to go right, and injuries have to play a place for other teams.
Like they have to be
There's like
incredibly
you guys
lucky.
will find out where we have in the standings for sure.
Incredibly lucky.
Yeah, so that's Jaden McDaniels. I don't know. I don't know how the new salary cap works. Like, how are they able to afford all this too? So
I don't know.
but yeah, a mid team. But yeah, next one, which is a potential trade target we list. I didn't make on the spot, but I'll think on the spot. Onyeka Okongwu signed a 4-year, $62 million rookie extension, which means Clint Capella could be on the trade block. Onyeka hasn't gotten that opportunity as a starting center. You know, he's a little small for the center spot, but you drafted him, I think, 6th overall for a reason. Give him the opportunity. 6'8" though, right? So small for a center spot.
It is small for a center.
But nowadays NBA is small ball, a lot of it, unless you're the
Wemby.
unless you're the Timberwolves as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. So 2 more years of Capella still. So I don't know if they're probably gonna plan to trade him for sure, and maybe a team like Dallas or
It depends.
whoever.
They're gonna wait till
come.
deadline for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, depending on how they're doing, if they're doing poorly, Capella could definitely get traded.
Yeah. Harden misses Monday practice. From what I hear, a rumor. I'm not sure how it is. It could be because of his mom's health, and he went back to Houston because of it. Again, the timing is off. We know that, so we don't know how much all of this is true. This is just me listening to Through the Wire and what they had heard as well. So Harden is obviously a thing you got to watch out for. Josh Green, another agreement, 3 years, $41 million extension there. Cole Anthony from the Magic, 3 years, $39 million extension, which means Jalen Suggs is a potential trade target.
Yeah, they have
Which means we'll mix up the trade target talk right now.
Yeah.
Celtics. I said that before. I think that's a low risk, high reward pickup. He's a straight playmaker, or not even the Celtics. Sorry, the Suns.
Yeah,
as well.
The Suns could use him.
Like
as well.
a straight playmaker, he could do it. But again, young guy, he's been struggling. But defensively, he's good. Once upon a time, Raptors were idiots for not taking him, but now he might be on the trade market. So, that's Cole Anthony. And Aaron Nesmith, Canadian, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure.
I'll double check that. Signed an extension for 3 years, $33 million with the Pacers. And obviously, you'll find out where we have the Pacers because we've been pretty high on them.
Someone's been high on them.
Okay, I guess I've been high on them based on that tone. Aaron Nesmith is not Canadian. I mixed him up with Andrew Nembhard, probably.
Yeah, you did.
He's South Carolina. Denny Avdia, 4 years, $55 million extension. Pay everybody in Washington, let them ball out.
Exactly right.
You drafted him for a reason there.
I mean, he's not going to ball out. It's only going to be Jordan Poole's balling out.
Yeah, as Kyle Kuzma as well.
Jordan Poole's not going to pass the ball. He's going to average like 40 a night.
Spurs extend Zach Collins, 2 years, $35 million. Injury prone with Portland. And I don't know. I mean, I didn't watch Spurs. Now I might because Wemby's there. But,
yeah, exactly.
Just pay someone for 2 years before you give Wemby his like $300 million contract, whatever is the next rookie extension available.
And yeah, so I think.
And the last thing is Grizzlies announced Steven Adams will be out for the year.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a big question mark because Brandon Clark also tore Achilles. He might be out for at least half the year.
The first half for sure, probably.
And yeah, I think that's what I pretty much see. If anything comes up that I missed, I'll bring it up throughout the pod. But yeah, those are the news for signing wise. Two news though, we forgot to mention previous episodes. Number one, Andre Iguodala officially retired from the NBA.
I want Iguodala.
You did not do that right.
I don't know how. I
want Iguodala to take.
I want Iguodala to take the final shot.
But shout out.
He's a clutch player.
Shout out Max Kellerman. But true in a
Yeah,
way.
he is a clutch player.
But Iguodala,
Solid career.
solid career. Obviously not the guy, but was part of the thing. He's a Hall of Famer in my opinion. Not first
Finals
ballot.
MVP, baby.
Yeah,
He's Finals MVP.
Hall of Famer in my opinion. 4-time champion, All Stars. Obviously, obviously made his name in the Warriors as a more of a role player type vibe. But I don't think he's a first ballot. But he could be in consideration for like 3-4 year ballots or whatever it comes. I think he won gold, or he was part of Team USA in general. Yeah, so Andre Iguodala, storied career, great leader, great
Champion. Finals MVP.
Guy you want on your vet. He could have easily played the Udonis Haslem role if he wanted to on a random team.
Could've.
But yeah, and the last thing is, which is before we get into our standings, so we were talking about assistant coaches helping young coaches out, right? Especially first-time head coaches. And obviously the biggest one being Milwaukee.
And he ain't there anymore.
Adrian Griffin is the head coach now, former Raptors assistant, father of AJ Griffin as well, Adrian Griffin Jr. Terry Stotts, former Blazers coach, was given that opportunity. You know, I don't know if that was a big reason why Dame wanted to go to Portland as well, because he's going to lead the offense there, Terry Stotts. But he stepped down, and then from what I've heard, again, through the wire, shout out to them, was him and Griffin clashed heads in something like a practice, and I don't know if it was like a power struggle for him, because he was a head coach for many years,
for so long,
was successful regular season wise. Obviously coached Dame up, and now he's gone. Now I don't know who's running their offense. It's a little too, I don't know, because Dame knows some of the offense already. Now everybody has to have a changed up offense. So yeah, so that's Terry Stotts no longer there. And without further ado, let's just get right into our standings.
Get into it, yeah.
We'll start with the East.
East, yeah, for sure.
Because
West is
first
tough.
of all,
West is tough.
hardest preview I've done out of all the sports we've done so far.
Yeah.
In terms
I
of
would say
Premier
so.
League, in terms of Major League Baseball playoffs, in terms of
NHL
and NFL,
Yeah.
right? This, I guess, part of it is the parity. Like you said, the West has like 11 potential teams.
It's not even that, like the way they're split up, right? Like NFL has divisions, NHL has divisions, right? These are just split into two.
And on
two
top
groups.
of that, yeah, you have a wild card spot. You think it can be easier? No, because the West has 11 teams and you could have 10 people there.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
but yeah, let's not delay it. Let's get into it.
All right.
We'll start off with the East. We'll go 15-1.
East, number 15 for me is the Washington Wizards.
Same.
It's a Poole and Kuz show, essentially, with mix of Denny Avdia. Nothing else. Again, just because we're putting them last doesn't mean it's a bad thing, because they might get the first overall pick next year. Again, I don't know who the guys are for next year's draft, but yeah, you know, Wizards fans, if you're pissed, you guys are stupid, because you guys need a rebuild anyways.
Exactly.
So
like, at the end of the day, you traded your two best players away, right? You can't. It's kind of going to be difficult to recover, especially right away. But yeah, I mean, we might have Jordan Poole averaging like 20 shots. One day he'll be.
One day he'll have
17 of 20.
Points, one day we'll have 2 points.
No, one day he'll be 17 of 20. One day he'll be 1 of 20.
Yeah, plus with free throws, he might have a 50-point game randomly, and he might have like a 2-point
I saw
game.
at preseason, I think he dropped 41 in 27 minutes. The next day he had 1 for 15 shooting.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Jordan Poole for you. But I do expect Jordan Poole to bounce back. I do believe he got hated on a little bit too much. At the end of the day, it was his second year, right? Last year?
Second or third year.
Yeah, but like his first year, his rookie year, he was really good.
He also got
Warriors want to chip.
They gave him extension right away.
I think that's probably kind of hindered it as well a little bit. They should have probably waited.
And then Draymond punched him.
Yeah, and then that too. But yeah, you could just tell his confidence just took a hit, right? And yeah, and some of it's on him. He's making some stupid shot decisions.
Yeah.
But I would just say I think he just need a new situation, and this could help out as well.
Just ball out. No one's gonna pay attention to Washington this year.
Exactly.
Number 14, I have the Charlotte Hornets.
Same.
Again, these two are flippable for me, but I gave more respect to LaMelo Ball. but everybody likes to get arrested on that team for some reason. So that's the reason why. LaMelo has been injured a couple of times throughout his career as well. Hopefully nothing serious like his brother. But 14, I won't be surprised if they're 15. First overall pick favorites in my opinion. That's it. Nothing much to say.
No, nothing much to say. LaMelo just try to stay healthy.
They have a lot of trade candidates though.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
But yeah, if LaMelo stays healthy, I could see these guys move up the list a little bit. But
yeah, but going on at 13 and 12, they were so hard to like. They're interchangeable. I had to just look at the roster, and ultimately I went with the Pistons at 13.
Same.
And then I'm guessing you have Magic at 12.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just put them together
Our
here.
bottom four is the same.
Yeah, our bottom four is the same. The reason why I give Magic the edge, Cade is coming back, so we're a little bit more of a projection. I think Cade will be fine. You also have James Wiseman there now as probably the backup center with Jalen Duren taking the starting role. I think Cade and Jalen Duren played in the U.S. Selects and they beat the actual U.S. team at the World Cup prep, and they killed it, right? So, but at the same time, I think just because Cade is coming back, I think he'll help a lot. But I'm whereas with the Magic last year, they had a decent year for their standards. Like I didn't expect them to be like as high as they were. Paolo, I don't project a sophomore slump on him. Basketball, yeah, it depends. It's
different.
It's different.
For me, Paolo's rookie
but
year,
he's the guy.
Paolo's rookie year was like the type where like, I'm just gonna turn this franchise around.
Yeah.
Type of rookie year. That's the type of rookie year he had.
The thing is, when it comes to sophomore slumps, if you're the guy, I think you're fine. If you're like, for example, Jason Tatum, Kyrie came in, right? And he struggled a little bit. Scotty had like Pascal and Freddie. And whoever, Tyler Hero, same thing. Like,
Yeah.
But if you're the guy, I haven't seen much. Like Ja was killing it in his second year, right? Zion technically in his second year when he was healthy, he killed it. So, for him, I think he'll be fine. Franz Wagner is probably an underrated young guy in the league right now. On top of that, you still have Markelle Fultz if he's healthy. He kind of has a resurgence, not number one overall style emergence.
He's playing better. He's playing more confident and. He's definitely like he has a little bit of a reemergence, like you said. And but for me, it's just like they had a little bit of continuity factor. Whereas like the Pistons, they didn't really have their guys like Cade, their best guy. He wasn't there last year.
And with the Magic, you also have like reliable big man in Wendell Carter Jr. Your young guys in Jet Howard and Anthony Black are pretty solid as well. Potential rookie team players there.
That's our bottom four. Number 11.
I went with the Chicago Bulls.
Oh my! Why? Same.
Okay. I went with Chicago Bulls. Now, I obviously have a jump team, which I think we have the same jump team here. Me more so. With the Bulls, I was fighting with them with another team, with my 10 team.
Same.
I just think with the Bulls was they struggled last year. I don't know what to expect. I think they're gonna be more stagnant. You don't have really much spacing going around. Your best defender is out again for the whole year, and Lonzo Ball and playmaker. And let me just pull up the roster. We already know what the strengths of the team are. There's no defense.
We know the trio, right? If one of the trio gets hurt, they're gonna cooked.
Yeah,
they're gonna fall to like 14th, in my opinion.
Yeah,
they need that trio to be healthy, which they generally have been. If I would say Levine's probably the most injury prone there. But yeah, like when those three are cooking, they're a decent team, but they're not like anything amazing.
Their big thing is Patrick Williams. He hasn't taken a 4th overall pick type jump, and he's asking for $20-something million a year. That's why he didn't get extended. He's one of the guys that did not get extended.
Yeah.
I have him 11 because I feel like they're gonna struggle, and you might look to trade DeMar DeRozan or Zach LaVine at the deadline.
Yeah, like you said,
and we've seen big players get traded in the NBA.
Yeah, but like you said, stagnant is probably the best way to. They've been the same team, and they've been producing the same results as well. I mean, the first year when DeRozan was there, they were a 3 seed that fell all the way down to like 6 and 7.
They were first for a while.
Yeah, they fell down like all the way to 6 and 7
because of I think Lonzo got hurt.
Yeah, and then obviously Lonzo being hurt for the last 2 years now. Last year they barely made it in the play-in.
Yeah,
and then this year I think they're gonna be out. It just like a decline.
It's tough. I won't be surprised again if they're a play-in team. It's just like one team is gonna fall, and for me, it's the Bulls.
Yeah.
Number 10,
the Toronto Raptors.
The Brooklyn Nets.
Toronto Raptors. For me, they're my team, but I just don't know what to expect from them. They could be a 6th seed. They could be 13th.
Is that your biggest range team? I was gonna ask you that later.
There it is, because like we don't know their direction. We don't know what the hell they're trying to go for.
Well,
right?
clearly we know the. Okay, so wait. With the Raptors
On the court, we don't know what the hell's going to happen, because they think it's a winning franchise team or winning championship team, but like when you look at the results, you don't know.
But that's
it's a capable team. Don't get me wrong. Like if they're performing well, like if they're legit, like all like Scotty, you struggled last year. Fred struggled last year. Pascal was still good. But if they're all doing good, like OG staying healthy, Gary Trent playing his role as a 6th man, they're a good team. They could get in the 5th, 6th spot.
I have them at 9th. But the thing you said, you don't know the direction, is it doesn't matter to the standings at this point. I still think they're a solid enough team that there could be a play-in team once again. On a bad year, on a down year, they were 500 last year. And now with a fresh set of eyes and a fresh mind in Darko Rajakovic, Pascal contract year, and we know how people ball out in their contract year. I expect them, like I said, I won't be surprised if this team was like 5th, but I won't be surprised if they finish 12th.
And that's because of
the unpredictability,
which comes from a lack of direction.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
For me,
that's where.
So I have them at 9. Let's just finish with the Raptors talk, because I have them at 9. For me, I still think they're a decent enough team. I think Pascal's that good. Dennis Schroeder, he might not be Fred VanVleet shooting wise, but he's still a really good point guard in this league. I expect Scotty to take a jump. OG contract year as well. So like I said, I still think they're a solid enough team. Defensively, they're bought in. From what I've heard, from what I've seen on Twitter from Raptors insiders, guys like Blake Murphy, guys like Josh Lewenberg, all these guys. I mean, I don't care about the preseason. I think they went undefeated, but I don't care for it.
I don't care either.
But you have to see the style of play. It's a lot more movement. It's a lot more deeper bench.
There's a
so it's different from Nick Nurse for sure, and fresh set of eyes is, like I said,
and Scotty's
will help him.
Scotty's
sure.
looking better as well.
Yeah,
and for my number 9 team, which is your number 10 team, Brooklyn Nets. My reasoning is simple as this: yes, you were the 6th seed, right? 6th seed.
Yeah, but a lot of that was because
so like a lot of that was you already were the 6th seed before all the trades.
You were like
you
the
already,
top 2
you already
team.
locked in.
You were second when KD and Kyrie were on the team.
You already locked in the playoffs basically,
and you almost choked that away still because
they still did. I expect them a bigger fall off. They still did decent enough to kind of hold their own. But the issue is you gotta do it for the whole year, and you have no head start this year. That's my biggest thing. Like you have no head start to put you in a playoff spot instantly. Whereas last year, KD and Kyrie did that, and so they'll be my 9th seed.
They're my 10 because between Dom and the Bulls and the Raptors, I put them in the middle because I feel like, again, the continuity factor. I know the Bulls have continuity, but their continuity is declining. They're older, like you said it when we did the NHL one, and their defense isn't there except for like Alex Caruso, right? These guys have defense. Right, Ben Simmons in the preseason at least looks decent. Last year's preseason he didn't do shit, or he was like still not playing. This year I feel like he has an vengeance tour. Let's see what happens. I'm not expecting him to be Philly Ben Simmons, but at least as a defensive playmaker, I expect that. But Mikal Bridges is a DPOY candidate himself.
But the issue,
we'll see with the health.
No, not the health. The issue is the offense.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
But in this case,
we know their defensive is all like Mikal Bridges, Ben Simmons.
Which is why I give Raptors the edge, because I trust their offense more
Nicholas
than
Claxton, right? All these are defensive studs.
Yeah.
But who is Mikal Bridges?
That's the point, right? And he did it last year from when he got traded. But the question is, I don't think Mikal Bridges is a 1 on a championship team. I think he's barely a 2. I think he could be a complimentary 2, but I think he's an elite 3, which is what he was with the Suns, right? When
their finals run.
That's why I have him a 10. Simple as that. It's just like you said it perfectly with the offense. But I won't be surprised if like Bridges still goes off. Cam Johnson has potential, MIP potential. Don't really have anything to say about Spencer Dinwiddie anymore.
They're kind of built like the Seattle Kraken, where they need kind of like a stud player. And if they can't add the stud player in, like because they have the foundation, they have the core, they just need to like find a way to upgrade that core.
I'm assuming their lineup is gonna be Ben, Dinwiddie, or Dinwiddie, Thomas, or Ben and Thomas. We already know the 2 forwards are going to be Mikal and Cam Johnson, who are going to be the brights, offense, and Nicholas Claxton. Defensively, they're not going to be an easy team to beat. It's not.
I expect 80, 85 games. I'm just kidding.
80, 85 games.
No, like 80 to 85 scorers.
Oh, scores. He said
Yeah.
85 games. I'm like, I
Yeah,
understand
like,
Cam.
the games. Like,
I understand.
the games would be 80
I
to
understand.
85,
Mikal
yeah.
Bridges played like 83 games last year because of the trade, but yeah, simple as that. I think that's why there's a 10 seed for me.
Yeah, number 9. It was the Nets. Yeah, number 8.
I went with Indy.
Same.
Okay, they're my jump team, but then I can't jump them too much.
Same.
Genuinely,
they
I won't be surprised if this team somehow becomes a 6 seed.
They haven't proven
Because
it.
6, 7, 8 for me are interchangeable.
Yeah, they haven't proven anything for me yet. Like, yeah, they're primed to take that jump, but if you look at it realistically, it all falls down to the shoulders of Halliburton.
Yeah.
And if he's not, as simple as it's like Canada and the FIBA World Cup. If Shea's not playing good, which was he had moments where Shea didn't play good, but they were lucky most of the time he did play like really good. It's the same thing as the Pacers.
Yeah.
It's gonna run through Halliburton, and if Halliburton's struggling, and I'm not saying he's gonna struggle, like I'm saying he's still gonna be good. That's why I'm putting him as an 8 seed, because like Halliburton's a stud, and yeah, if they keep playing through Halliburton, his usage rate I think is gonna be like the highest in the NBA. In my opinion, you know, how, like Lucas was like a 70% last year. Like Lucas was really high. I think
It depends on how they run the offense, right?
yeah, but I think if they want to win games, they're gonna have to
Your
use.
coach is Rick Carlisle, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken. Yeah.
I think they're gonna have to use him a lot.
I wouldn't be
Rick Carlisle, former Mavs coach as well.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if they're a 6 seed, but at the same time, you added pieces. I don't think they lost anyone significant. You add Bruce Brown, championship pedigree. Yes, they're not a championship team. I'm not saying that, but you bring that vet, even though he's young.
He's a stud.
And,
He's a stud.
You bring in Obi Toppin. I like that pickup, so you added more depth. Like their lineup is probably Halliburton. Right now it's Buddy Hield, who might get traded. Miles Turner is now extended. No more real trade talks.
Mathurin's probably
Because
starting.
if Mathurin might start, sure, and then you could put Obi Toppin right there, right? Yeah, I think they're primed to take a jump this year as long as they're healthy. Again, everything is health related. We're assuming they're healthy, and we'll take into account how injury.
Yeah,
prone
last
they are.
year they missed a play-in by a spot. I think they were 11 seed, and moving up 3 spots is a decent little jump they could have.
Again, their range is like 6 to 10, I guess.
Yeah, 6 to 11.
Yeah.
We'll say 6 to 11 just because.
Okay, 7.
New York Knicks.
Miami Heat.
New York Knicks for me is like they're kind of up and down, right? Like they had that good year with the 5th seed, I think, on the Tampa Bay Raptors year,
Yeah.
and then obviously the next year they struggled, and then last year they bounced back again. Jalen Brunson still a stud. Julius Randle for me
Is a question mark.
Is a question mark, and RJ Barrett for me is a question mark.
So
I expect Brunson to do his thing, but can Randle and Barrett pick up their little bit load, which they haven't really done on a consistent basis.
should I talk about the Knicks or should I talk about the Heat?
Talk about your Heat, then we'll switch it after.
Okay.
And you could
Heat.
just add in like filler
Knicks
points.
for me,
Before
the
you go-
reason why I
before you go-
disagree with that
before
slightly.
before you go, just add in we'll just add in filler points. Like I'll add my filler points for the
Okay.
Heat, and then you add in your filler points for the Knicks.
For the Knicks, you said it on the dot. The second year, they did not have Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's that big of a guy that I think he will hold it. He'll steady the ship for sure. You added Dante DiVincenzo as well. You added Josh Hart's there, who's the glue guy in terms of like getting rebounds and hopefully making shots, right? So that's why I disagree with the 7 spot. But that reason.
my
alone.
counterpoint to that is, that year they were 13th. I'm saying he could still steady his ship and be a
True.
7 seed. I'm not saying they're gonna collapse. If they didn't have Jalen Brunson, I'm picking him out of my plan
Yeah.
potentially.
I like their defensive mindset with him. RJ Barrett for me is the biggest polarizing player for sure. What are you gonna expect from him? Julius Randle, at least in regular season wise, he's fine. It's just like what he can do in the offseason.
Yeah.
But this is a regular season right now. Miami, it's no surprise to me. I think they're the biggest loser in this whole off season out of all the teams. They were a team last year with the guys they had that were barely a play-in team. Almost missed out on a max, unless it was a Max Strus shot. And guess what? They don't have Max Strus anymore. They don't have Gabe Vincent anymore. Now they are a team that gets players out of nowhere, like Haywood Highsmith, for example. But
Tell you, Jaime
the health of
Hawkins-
Jimmy Butler is also
Jaime Hawkins is gonna be a big player for them this year.
yeah, he's a rookie though. So I'm looking at Nikola Jovic more, if anything.
Yeah,
Because
no,
he had
but
a good
you know,
he had a good World Cup. I'm looking
rookies,
at Nikola Jovic
The
more.
second year guys struggled. The rookies is the one who comes in and do good.
Yeah, but no, for me, I have him 7. It's not. Listen, prove me wrong. As like the meme is, prove me wrong. But They were bad in the regular season last year. I think they will be a play-in team. I think this is one of my teams that will make the playoffs still as a 7th seed. I just don't trust that team. They lost way too much for me. Way too much. And they're saying that they're a fine team. Sure, they might be a fine team. Pat Riley knows more ball than me. I agree with that. Spoelstra knows more ball than me. I agree with that. But you're telling me you lost all those pieces to try to get Dame to the point where you got Jimmy Butler calling for tampering, the guy who tampered himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not high on them at all this year.
All right, number 6.
I have the Atlanta Hawks.
I have the Atlanta Hawks.
This is where I was tiptoeing between Atlanta and Indy. Atlanta, I think Trae Young's gonna have a bounce back year.
Same, yeah,
for sure.
I do believe that.
DeJounte Murray's locked up. You got rid of John Collins with all the talks you have, and now you could give Onyeka Okongwu maybe those minutes.
Yeah, with his size, he could definitely fill in the 4 role for sure.
Trae Young for me is gonna come back. I feel like he's that type of guy that's like, okay, you know how Quinn Hughes with the Canucks that Northern Division year were shitting on him.
Yeah.
That's Trae Young to me.
Last year, yeah.
I feel like he was still fine last year, but he wasn't like all-star for sure, and I agreed with that. He was not being an all-star. This year, I could see him taking a massive jump, carrying the load, and you have Quinn. Now, my biggest question mark with him is the defensive side of things, because Quinn Snyder is a defensive coach, and we saw it with Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert-led Utah Jazz, and we know Trae Young is on paper the worst defensive player in the league, apparently, based on advanced
But
stats.
that's where like the DeJounte trade last year is gonna help, because at the end of the day, you want a guy who could lock up with Trae. DeJounte could do that, and DeJounte could get his own offense as well. I put him as a 6th seed as well, same as you. And yeah, I expect a Trae Young bounce back year for sure.
That's the main factor for me.
That's the main factor for me as well.
And then you added Sadiq Bey last year. You could probably flip maybe Capella right now, but I think they should keep him.
If that's another reason I think they're keeping Capella as well. Like, they need a little solidified big man, and Capella is a solidified big man.
You have Patty Mills
opinion.
and your like vet.
Yeah,
I just think every team needs a vet.
They kind of messed up. Like, obviously, I'm not gonna get into it too much, but like, you know, in the 2019 where they had like these picks, all these young guys, and they didn't really do much with them. Not a lot of them panned out because you kept them, but also like at that time you could have potentially traded to get a stud.
But this is a team you got to look out for a guy like OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam, who was linked here heavily.
Good fits there. Yeah.
So that's the point there.
Number 5, I went with the Miami Heat.
This is where I had the New York Knicks.
Yeah. So ours is very similar.
Very similar. We just swapped. The two we have swapped were swapped. Okay, very quickly, to my point, I think the Knicks, we don't have to go too much into it because we already talked about it. With the Knicks, like I said, Jalen Brunson. That's the big factor. Josh Hart, big factor. I think they'll continue on from last year. That's
he legit just said that. Right?
That's it.
So, like, there's no point in getting back into that. For me, Heat...
You're still high on them.
I'm still high on them. I don't think... Like, I feel like people are writing them off a little bit too much, in my opinion. Whereas I still believe that they're still that good of a team. I still believe Spoelstra is going to be a big factor here, and kind of have him in my Coach of the Year rankings.
And I'm assuming you have Jimmy Butler in your MVP rankings then, because he has to go off like crazy.
I don't, but...
Okay. Dark horse. He's a dark horse.
Sure. Yeah, he's a dark horse. But yeah, I mean, like, I feel like the way they lost last year, kind of they just like try to get in the playoffs, the mentality, and see what happens.
It's weird because,
but like, I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like there might be a little bit urgency. I feel like there might be a little bit more urgency where I didn't see that last year, and I'm kind of expecting that urgency to.
I know Kyle was out for a bit, Butler was out for a bit, but the thing for me is, you're right. They need that urgency and they need to show who they truly are. But I still think they needed a piece, and Damian Lillard and Jrue Holiday was that piece.
But like, this is regular season. I'm not saying they're gonna be championship. I'm not saying they're gonna make the final or anything. I still think they'll have enough. You know, they'll still stay afloat, right? And try to make the playoffs.
I thought you were gonna stick them top 3 like you were saying.
No, I would say like projecting playoff wise, like they could potentially. Yeah. Like at the end of the day, like, Sixers could be a top 3 seed, but they're definitely drop with their playoff performances.
Okay, number
right?
4.
Like, they drop down to like 3 or 4 or 5, even 6.
Are you talking about Sixers right now?
East, huh?
Or
no, I'm talking about like that's where I'm like considering. I'm not saying they're 3rd seed like the Heat, but I'm saying they could end up being like if you, wait, what would you rank Miami as last year?
Last year,
combining playoffs and everything, like, would you put them? Like, I would put them top 2 because like they made the finals.
If they brought the same team,
no, like I'm talking about like last year. Like, how would you rank this?
How
Like, rate
would I rank their season?
like the Eastern Conference. Like, were they the best team in the East? Because they
no.
but like they were top 2.
Yeah, but no, I thought they had a disappointing regular season and they were so close of missing it.
Yeah,
And
but the postseason, yeah. But like with the postseason, they kind of, for me, they elevated to like 2.
Yeah, but then I think they lost pieces and they didn't replace.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, like, I'm basing on, like, that's what they said, like, how I put them 2 last year. That's why I'm putting them, like, at the third best
Last
team.
year, I thought they were a top 5 team. Like,
No,
if
no,
you, if you
no,
were to do
okay,
this
you're not
last
getting
year-
my point.
Yeah, what is it?
Okay, look at from beginning to end, regular season and postseason, right? Where you factor in both things, the Sixers obviously fall off
Yeah.
compared to Miami, who's going
For
up.
sure.
For me, Miami,
They flip.
For me,
Yeah, no, I
Miami,
agree with that. They
Miami
flip.
was the second best team in the East,
They flip. Yeah.
right? If you come like putting both as well, and yes, obviously they made the finals. People could say
I
they're
thought
first
overall
best.
they were the
But
third
they were
best
top
team.
2.
I think they were top 3
Overall,
last year.
overall they were top 2. Where this year I'm saying overall they'll be top 3.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying they're a 3 seed.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, that's fine. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
They're a team that I think that's definitely a trade destination team for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They have to be.
All right, number 4,
Philadelphia 76ers.
Philadelphia 76ers.
I feel like you know what's funny? I see through the wire do the exact same thing where they do it and they end up matching somehow. And everybody's
Yeah,
like, "Oh,
yeah.
we're gonna be so different."
Probably. Yeah.
Obviously, our differences were off by 2, which I knew the Heat was gonna be different.
Raptors and Nets switch
just
for
switched,
us,
yeah.
and then the Heat and the Knicks.
Sixers, Joel Embiid is that good. Simple as that.
Yeah, like he'll still do.
He's that good. Tyrese Maxey
he's
will
good.
fill in the load of James Harden. James Harden will get traded. Don't get me wrong. He will get traded. And they'll probably end up getting Malcolm Brogdon somehow in a 3-team trade. Right? We've seen what James Harden did in Houston, but the difference is that Houston team was shit compared to this because Joel Embiid is still good enough to carry. Like that Rockets team had older coming back John Wall, and they have Christian Wood. Joel Embiid's way better than them, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So Joel Embiid's the reason why they're 4 seed. He will have that Jokic type year without Murray. That's what I'm trying to project.
Yeah.
And this conference is also easier compared to the West. That I don't think they'll fall to a 6 seed. Now I won't be surprised, but I think they're good enough to be a 4 seed. And Nick Nurse, we'll see how he plays. Them. But I think he's a good enough coach that we saw what he did with the Raptors.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
Kawhi
exactly.
left.
But yeah, Embiid still gonna be a stud. Don't get me wrong. And the key pieces, I think Maxey will take the step where he's gonna fill in what Harden does and do what he does at the same time.
Exactly.
And he's gonna like just straight up carry the guard position on that team. And yeah, Embiid's gonna do Embiid things. So yeah.
And then
they're
you
4
added,
seed.
you still have Tobias Harris, who's decent, and you brought back Danny Green, vet who will teach the defense, and then you got Patrick Beverly, who's gonna annoy the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, number 3, Cleveland Cavaliers.
Cleveland Cavaliers.
I just feel like they needed a little bit. They needed a year to get together a little bit. Donovan Mitchell still a stud. Evan Mobley, yeah, I may not have the best second year, but like
I think he had a great second year
Huh?
defensively. He was in deep boy conversations.
compared to his first year, I think he declined a little bit. I think he's come back to like
I think he had underrated. I think the guys like Evan Mobley is tough to judge because of their impact is different.
yeah, but like I'm just saying like
Because you have
year
Donovan
one,
Mitchell.
year one, Evan Mobley was better.
But the difference was here's the
it's
difference
clear.
though. Second year, Evan Mobley had Donovan Mitchell, so he was more focused on
Yeah,
the
so
defensive end.
exactly. So
And Darius
my point
Garland.
is that he's gonna
Go better.
elevate.
Yeah.
Like again,
I like the Max Strus ad with the shooting and everything. I think the biggest question mark is can you convince Donovan Mitchell to stay? Because this could be their last dance, quote unquote. I don't think it's
this
the
is
last
their window.
dance.
This is yeah.
But
Can Garland be consistent, right? Like, obviously, I'm basing too much on postseason because he struggled then.
But for the regular season, they're fine. Defensively, they're elite. You have the Twin Towers, and
Exactly.
that complement well with Jared Allen, who's very underrated center in the league, and you have Evan Mobley, who might be deep boy candidate again this year, and you still have an elite scorer in Donovan Mitchell, an elite playmaking guard in Darius Garland. So all that and at their depth pieces, Karis LeVert I think is still there. Off the bench, they're a third seed team for me. I think that's why they're ahead of Philadelphia because we don't know the situation with Philadelphia yet.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that.
Number 2,
Celtics.
Milwaukee.
Okay. and
I swapped them. I think Celtics have
Then
more.
obviously my one is Bucks.
So let's talk about both of them right here.
And your one is
Celtics.
the Celtics.
I think The Celtics will have. I think they're a more complete regular season team that they'll take it more
yeah,
serious.
you talk about the Celtics more, then I'll talk about the Bucks.
Okay, so
type of thing.
the reason why I have Celtics number one is just the simple add of both Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. Defensively, they're going to be way better. Offensively, they're still there, and I just think that I'm not saying Milwaukee's gonna chill, but I think the how the regular season's set up, I feel like, especially with the load, especially with the 65 game load, that people need to be eligible for awards and All NBA. That some players might coast a little bit to hit the threshold rather than just playing, not playing, right? So I think they're deeper enough that in the regular season that they'll be fine. They'll be the number one seed. It could be by one game. It could be by 2 games. I just think Celtics will be the regular season champ in my opinion.
For me personally, it's just the Bucks shut up Giannis and be like, we're gonna give you that piece. We're gonna sign you. Now go out on the court and prove that you're the best team in the world. And I feel like they're gonna respond. They're gonna start from day one all the way to the end. They're just gonna be like, okay, thank you. Giannis will be like, thank you. They're gonna be like, thank you, and let's just show them why we're the best duo in the league.
I get that, but here's my thing: when Giannis won the championship, they were the 3rd best team. When they were the 2 times they were number 1 seeds, they choked a 2-0 lead against your team, the Raptors, and they got shot on in the bubble.
Yeah,
and that's where Giannis chilled a little bit more and kept his body right. Still played, still had the numbers because it's still Giannis, and obviously adding Drew Holiday helped with that. Now Dame is better than Drew Holiday.
But the thing is, Damian Lillard is as almost, you could put him up there with Giannis. Like if Giannis sits out, you could expect Damian Lillard to carry a load and win them a game, win them many games, and
I
vice
agree
versa.
with that. I just
Whereas
think
that time, Middleton and Holiday, yes, they could get it done as a team, but like at the end of the day, who's gonna be that scorer at the end? Lillard is that guy.
Yeah, like I said, we're just picking hairs here.
Yeah,
but I just think the Celtics have the more depth. To your point,
yeah,
that when Brown sits,
I think it's kind of similar.
I think that Kristaps showed that he could be on the court and carry a load as well if one or both of them are sitting out, with Drew Holiday leading the backcourt. But yeah, we're picking hairs. We don't need to argue.
Yeah,
it was a debate for sure. I just thought the Celtics were the better regular season team.
Depth-wise, for me, is personally kind of a similar.
But one thing's for sure, that these two are the only Eastern Conference teams that are contenders.
Oh yeah, 100%.
No one else.
No one else comes close. There should be the conference finals, and there should be your 1 and 2 seeds, no matter what order you have it. Me being the Bucks or you being the Celtics.
Yeah.
And like it's a disappointment if this is not an Eastern Conference Finals matchup.
Yeah. Number 15 on the West. Let's go to the Western Conference right now.
Let's try not to spend too much time on the bottom side like how we did for
the
East.
I'm gonna just name my bottom 4 because I think it's gonna be the same. Number 15, Portland. Number 14, Utah. Number 13, Houston. Number 12, the Spurs.
Number 15, Portland. Damian Lillard is gone.
Yeah.
Simple as that. 14 Spurs. I just feel like they're a little bit early in the rebuild.
Okay.
13 going with the Rockets. That has some decent vet pieces, and I feel like some of their young guys could bounce, take that little step. And then 12 Jazz. They were pretty decent last year for what we expected.
So I'm gonna flip that. The reason why I have the Jazz 14 is A, I don't expect Lauri Markkanen to do what he did last year. B, they don't have Mike Conley anymore, so they don't have that vet guy or a good ball handler that will dictate plays like Mike Conley did for half that year.
But I just feel like Colin Sexton, Markkanen,
I'm not.
It's good enough. Sexton. It's good enough to be better than the Rockets, Spurs, and Trailblazers.
I think the Rockets.
I'm not saying they'll be good enough.
I think the Rockets are going to be underrated. I think they're. I only reason why I put Spurs ahead of the Rockets is I'm just buying stock in the Wemby.
Yeah.
Nothing else to that. I honestly would have put Rockets 12 and Spurs 13. Rockets, I believe they're a better team than the Jazz. That's it. Nothing more to it. I genuinely believe that.
I just think the Rockets.
I'm also projecting.
The Jazz's players have been better recently.
I'm also projecting.
Yeah.
So this is projection based.
I'm kind of basing off last year, whereas the Jazz, I feel like they'll still be decent. I'm
not buying into what the Jazz did last year.
But I just still I'm comparing to those 4 teams, right? I think the Jazz are just better because they were pretty decent last year for what they were supposed to be, and the Rockets, Spurs, and Trailblazers, we all know the rebuild mode. Obviously, Jazz are too. But the Jazz are kind of ahead in my opinion.
For me, I think the Rockets roster is better than the Jazz roster. That's all. Nothing more to
that. We're kind of disagree there, but yeah.
Yeah.
But at the end
You
of
want
the
to
day,
debate?
I have him.
You want to debate?
I have him one lower. Like it's not
Yeah,
like
I know, but I just think
Oh,
the
yeah,
Rockets
one
roster
lower.
is overall better.
Yeah,
That's
but
it.
I got
and I like
Russell.
Ime Udoka as a coach more.
Yeah, but I
That's
think
the other
that the
factor
thing
too.
is that's gonna take a little bit of time as well.
But I think I believe in the veteran aspects of Fred, Jeff Green there as well. Whereas last year the Rockets did not have anyone to the point where and they don't have KPJ anymore to cosh it down.
Yeah.
And I like the addition of Amen Thompson there.
yeah,
So
but yeah.
number 11. So this is okay. Here's the thing. This is the
This
team.
is-
This,
this is
is
where it gets-
ultimately the team that misses.
This is where it gets controversial.
Do you want to flip it and go 1 to 11 to see which team misses?
No, we'll keep it same.
Okay,
We-
the
we-
team
we-
that I ultimately picked, and I was sitting here looking at my list,
Last year this was
looking at rosters.
last year this was the Mavericks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
last year, yeah, this year, it was between two teams. Well, three teams, but I believe in OKC so much that I kept them in there. It was between the Minnesota Timberwolves, and it was between the New Orleans Pelicans.
and you went with.
I went with the New Orleans Pelicans will ultimately miss and have the 11th seed.
I
And
went.
the simple fact is,
Yeah, I'll let you finish first. Yeah.
simple fact is, I really wanted to put the Timberwolves there. I really do. But then I believe in Anthony Edwards playing more than Zion and Brandon Ingram playing.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's a big.
It's just the health. I'm a Pelicans guy. I love Brandon Ingram. I was a huge fan of him. He got traded for Anthony Davis. I still was rooting for them, and he killed it. Like the year he made he won MIP and all that. Ultimately, last year I can't consider it a fluke. And Zion, people said he was healthy last year, and midway through he's gone, and he says he will be back in 6 weeks, and then he doesn't come back. That's it. So I have Pelicans missing because of that reason.
For me,
and Trey Murphy's also injured.
I went with the Timberwolves 11.
Yeah,
Nothing against Anthony Edwards at all.
yeah.
I just do not like the big combination at all. For me, it just ruins Towns' game so much, where he can't really operate.
Because he
in the
becomes like a
paint.
shooting guard.
Yeah, he just limits him so much, which I just feel like it may not have affected him last year, but I feel like they're gonna really feel the toll this year because they kind of felt it last year as well. Like they kind of felt the decline from the year before.
I think when they made the Mike Conley trade,
Like Edwards showed some frustration last year.
yeah, but I think Towns was injured for a lot of the year. I think the Mike Conley addition propelled them more, and because I'm betting on that more than D'Angelo Russell. I think Mike Conley being that
D'Angelo
vet,
Russell.
D'Angelo
he
Russell was
there.
there. Yeah. Mike Conley is the vet. He's a good point guard. I'm not saying he's some elite guy, but he's a very good point guard in this league that could shoot. And we saw it in that play-in game when they were beating the Lakers and then ultimately choked. That I just think that they're health-wise they're gonna be healthier, and I trust Mike Conley leading the backcourt and keeping everybody in check. And and I think Kyle Anderson's an underrated guy in terms of like defense and stuff. Jaden McDaniel's defense abilities there. I think they're also a better defensively better team.
The bigger question mark is Jaden McDaniel's going to punch a wall and Kyle Anderson and Rudy Gobert is going to beef again.
I don't think that's happening.
Probably
I don't
not,
think that will happen. Who knows? Carl Anthony Towns is a rumored trade block again.
It's as a joke. It's as a joke. But yeah.
Carl Anthony Towns is a rumored trade block. We get it because you can't trade Gobert.
And ultimately,
that's
my filler points for the Pelicans, I think they'll have enough games together where they're going to just edge out the Timberwolves, in my opinion. And and then obviously I'm assuming you have the Timberwolves at 10.
Yeah, that's
Right.
who I was arguing with.
Yeah.
And like I said, I gave Timberwolves the edge because of Mike Conley and the defensive abilities is more.
All right.
And health.
Number 9. For
Uh,
me, I'm going to let you go first. For me, I feel like it might be a little bit of kind of a fall off. But you go first.
OKC Thunder.
I went with Sacramento.
I knew it.
Sacramento Kings.
I was debating hard. I couldn't put them that low.
Sacramento
I wanted to
Kings,
put OKC ahead, and I wanted to put OKC, ultimately like in the 7th or 8th spot even. Well, 7th mainly. OKC, it's a lot of it is on projection. A lot of it is based on projection. I love Shea. If he's gonna be Shea from last year, I think they're a better team. Davis Bertans there as a shooter. He's not a defensive guy. You still have Lou Dort. I trust Josh Giddey to be better. You got the Jalen Williams, not brothers, but both J Dub and J Will. I don't know who the other guy.
They're just both the same
Chet
name.
Holmgren
Is
as
back.
well.
Is back.
Again, but it's a lot of it is on projection. A lot of it is on projection because we haven't seen Chet. So to be fair to myself, when I said about Cade in the east side, I got to be fair with Chet on the west side. But what Chet has shown in the preseason, that matchup against Wemby is going to be fun. ultimately, I couldn't put him too high up, but I have him on my 9th seed.
I have
for
him
that
as
reason.
I have him as
Oh, last thing I want to say. Please package the picks and get someone elite, and you'll be much higher.
yeah.
Right? It could be a wing player or a big. Just go
anyone,
get
yeah.
someone.
I have him as an eight seed. Sacramento Kings. I just feel like I'm not saying last year was a fluke, right? But like with the West getting so much better around them, for me it's gonna kind of take a toll on them because they're still the same team.
To your point, they were also one of the healthiest teams last year, up until the playoffs when Sabonis got hurt. Still played, I think. But are we gonna bank on that again this year? Because
Fox been injured quite a bit, right?
in general, right?
And,
So
like early on.
I wouldn't say it was quite a bit. I think it was the year before he was injured. But at the same time, like to your point, I'm helping your point
And this
here.
and
That's
this,
why I dropped him off. They're my 8th.
yeah,
they're my 8th.
and this is also last year was Fox's first year of being that guy,
Yeah,
right? Whereas let's see if you could do it again.
that thing too.
But no, there's no knock on the Kings. It's just that like
Everybody else got better.
everyone else got better. And before I guess we'll go do it at the end now because we gotta say our play-in winners for the East. So
Yeah,
we
yeah,
gotta
we'll do it
do
at
it at the end because we usually do it for when I we did the East and the West like that's
yeah.
But yeah, so I guess 8 seed.
My 8th was the Kings.
Kings,
Because
minus
exactly
100.
what you said, we could just move on.
Yeah,
I just think they're gonna drop
7 seed for me.
off.
Memphis Grizzlies.
Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh my god, we are similar. I swear, this is like he was like in another room and I was in another room. We're making this list,
Yeah.
right? Like we did not look at this list.
You were done your list when I came and started doing
Yeah,
mine.
exactly. So
Memphis, again, other teams got better. I like the Marcus Smart pickup, but Ja being suspended 25 games.
Steven Adams being out now.
Now Steven Adams officially being out. Like I could have argued them being even lower now with the Steven Adams news. But ultimately, you were 2 years in a row a second team, Taylor Jenkins, second place team with Taylor Jenkins killing it. I think you add Marcus Smart is gonna help him enough. I think Desmond Bain is in contention or dark horse candidate for MIP this year because he's gonna carry the ball more likely.
Yeah.
Between him and Smart.
It's gonna go through him a lot more. in the
Exactly. I still they've done so well without Ja.
beginning.
Now, granted, they had Tyus Jones, so I think that's still a big loss. But you brought in Marcus Smart, and defensively, they're gonna be that grit team.
they're gonna be good defensively.
And you had last year's Depoy as well, and
Yeah,
Jaren Jackson Jr.
Jr.
But Jaren Jackson Jr.'s biggest flaw, especially playing the 5, is foul trouble.
Yeah, it is his biggest flaw. Yeah, for me, it's just gonna come down to who's gonna be that guy offensively from the beginning. It's gonna be like they're gonna kind of start off like 500-ish, and then when Ja comes back and they get a little bit healthier and all that stuff, they'll elevate enough to kind of be the 7th seed and try to get that first home game. I guess try to be try to get the first win in the 7-8 matchup for the play-in.
6.
I went with the Golden State Warriors.
I went with the Dallas Mavericks. So you're buying into the hype, right? Because Dallas, because you always have them higher.
Yeah.
I have Dallas
not much higher, but yeah.
I have Dallas at 6 because a lot of people are having them in missing even playoffs again or play-in team. I genuinely believe last year was a blip and you added some young pieces in Omax and Derek Lively to be your centers. You obviously have Dwight Powell in them still, but I really believe Luka is out for a vengeance this year. Because here's the thing, hot take, I don't know. Luka and Joel Embiid might be the two guys I request a trade that doesn't work out. But the reason why I think people have Dallas lower is you don't know what the hell to expect from Kyrie Irving.
We do not expect.
Okay, you can't say that. You can't even say it's anything different.
We don't know.
Ever since he left the Cavs, he's been unpredictable, completely.
And it's not like skill wise; it's just like just showing up.
Just showing up.
Yeah.
Like, mentally, we don't know where Kyrie Irving's gonna be.
But yeah, I do believe it's a little bit better. I believe that the offseason, kind of starting from the beginning of the season is gonna help him.
Yeah.
And to me, Luka, we kind of project him to take the MVP step. And he had really, I'm not saying Luka was bad, but he really hasn't taken the elevation. Whereas last year, kind of, maybe pissed off a little bit, kind of a little bit extra motivated. And might
their
take that
biggest
step.
weakness is going to be defense for sure.
100%,
to figure that
yeah.
out. Hot take, to your Luka point, I think Jason Tatum's better right now. Like ranked higher by one spot maybe. But I still have him ranked higher for a reason.
It's tough.
To your point, because Jason Tatum has proven it, I guess he's on a better team, but
I could see it. See it. Yeah.
It's an argument.
But Luka has to carry more of a load.
Yeah.
Look at.
But now he has.
clear evidence. Look at his usage rate last year.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So now it's gonna help with Kyrie Irving because Kyrie Irving at the end of the day is better than Jalen Brunson, right? We know that.
100%. Yeah.
It's just the mental side of things. We don't know what his commitments are. On top of that, you add Grant Williams. That help with
That's
it.
good.
He'll be that. He's like that, bully type guy who's gonna be in people's faces. Now he might be also the guy to talk shit and miss 2 free throws.
So, yeah.
But
it's quick. So that's why Dallas is your 6. I'm
that's my
quickly
6.
mention why.
I still
Warriors.
think they're not. I think last year's a blip, and
Yeah,
to sum it
same
up,
here.
there's a blip, but they're still good enough to be
I'm
other
gonna
teams.
mention why Warriors or my 6.
Yeah, because it's a little. No, actually, no.
Health, right? They're an old team, and Curry got hurt last year. So it's kind of that, because if Curry goes, for me, Curry's gonna have to be the guy again, all 100%.
Obviously.
Because Clay is not the same, Chris Paul is not the same, Andrew Wiggins. I'm not sure how much offensive impact is he gonna have, because the man who's gonna get you all the points showed it in the Kings series against the Kings Warriors round 1 is in game 7 that Curry's gonna carry this offensive load, and when he went down, I think they really struggled, right? Like when he went down, they were like, I don't know what their record was without him, but like I know it wasn't good for sure. Like it was 500 or lower.
Okay, I want to just go a quick filler.
But like so I'm saying is that like the Warriors with Curry is gonna be good enough to like guarantee a playoff spot for them.
I'm not worried. Okay, health for sure. I'm not. Don't get me wrong.
But I'm just saying, like,
my thing is, I think Curry will be fine. Like I hope he's.
Curry's
he'll be
fine. My thing is,
no.
The last couple of years he's been
The
injured.
guy who's
He's
been
out.
injured now,
He's been
who's
out.
starting off the year not playing against against the Suns. I believe they have opening game.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Is Draymond Green. Simple as that. If he's injured, I don't trust him defensively because they don't have any bigs.
Yeah, that
like
too.
Kevin
Yeah.
Looney that is there, but I don't trust. He's not going to be your playmaking big, right? That's who I'm worried about the most. Curry, it's a given. If he's injured, sure. But if Draymond is still playing, I trust Chris Paul enough to carry that load as a playmaker. And the big question mark for me ain't those two either. It's Klay Thompson.
Yeah, but my issue is Chris Paul could do the playmaking, but who's gonna be the scorer?
Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen,
I'm not saying Andrew Wiggins bad. He's been a good player, but like at the end of the day, like your number one option and your number
Andrew
one guy
Wiggins
scoring.
shown that he could score the bucket in the past. Now he's in a more structured team. He didn't need to do that, right? Again, we're not hoping Curry to be injured, right?
Yeah, we're not like
that.
I'm genuinely not like
Even if Curry's healthy and Draymond's healthy and all that, I think I put him on 4. I'm gonna just say that right now.
Yeah, but I just kind of like put that kind of in effect because the last couple of years he has been like hurt.
I have to have him better than Dallas. That's just me.
Yeah.
I have to, because Curry's that good.
I'm just factoring in injuries here. That's the only reason why I have him. Otherwise, 100% top 5 team. Top 4 team.
The biggest injury concern for me is still gonna be Draymond Green, because I just don't think they have anyone to replace him. I don't think they have anyone to replace Curry. Don't get me wrong. No one could replace Curry. Chris Paul is, if Curry has to miss 1 or 2 games, let's just say it's 1 or 2 games, I trust Chris Paul more than Jordan Poole.
If it's 1 or 2 games, it's fine.
Like Chris Paul, I don't even know if he's starting, but if Chris Paul is 6th man, he goes into the starting role, I could trust him to find Wiggins open shots and get to the rim, as long as Wembanyama's not guarding him. And then same thing with Klay Thompson. He'll get Klay Thompson open shots. I believe in Klay Thompson. I hope his shooting comes back. That's all it is.
For me, number 5 team is the Dallas Mavericks.
For me, is the Los Angeles Clippers.
Yeah. I'm gonna sound very hypocritical for my number 4 team, but we'll get to that later. But Dallas Mavericks, I think it was a blip. I think Luka's gonna come out with a little bit of vengeance. I think the Luka Kyrie, having a off season and a training camp together is gonna help. And I think they're gonna be a better team than last year.
I agree with that. But I still have them 6 because I still have question marks with. You slightly being hypocritical because I know what you're gonna say about the Clippers at 4.
Exactly.
Again, I gotta take an account of Kyrie Irving. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not saying like it's a fair point. I'm not saying anything wrong with that, but I have a feeling like that duo's gonna connect.
My
4 Clippers, this is just vibes, right? It's simple.
Listen,
my vibe is that they're gonna be healthy, and when they're healthy,
they're the best. Probably the best team.
They're arguably the best team. Okay, you could obviously make a case, but my point is they're the most well-rounded team.
Yeah.
Right. They have like scoring. They have defense. Their 2 best players could defend anyone
Yeah.
in the world. Basically,
Number 5 is Clippers.
like any position in the world.
And the
yeah.
simple reason why I have them 5 is because I don't trust their health.
Yeah,
That's it.
And,
no other reason. There's a 65 game cap to be considered a award. I don't think Kawhi Leonard gives a shit about awards.
he said himself.
So
yeah.
he will still play whenever he needs to play, and when he plays, Kawhi Leonard is an MVP when he plays. He just doesn't get it because he doesn't play it enough. Right?
Yeah, this for me is just fully vibes. I kind of like the vibe for me is like, yo, they might be a little bit healthier than the Warriors, so I'm giving them the edge.
I hope that's not the case, but because I genuinely believe they could be.
You hope that that's not the case? You hope they're injured?
No, I hope that that they're not good.
Oh yeah.
That they're not the 5th seed or 4th seed, but health wise, no, I want to see Kawhi Leonard play. Listen, I'm a Laker fan first. I get that, but I'm also a basketball fan, and I just watch Kawhi Leonard hoop and hopefully lose.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
this is just me vibes. If like for me, fully healthy, I think the Clippers are better than the Warriors. Would you agree with that? For me personally, that's how I.
Yeah,
That's
no,
how I'm.
I don't
That's how I
disagree
kind of
with
see
it.
it.
I don't disagree with it.
Yeah, I just kind of see like the Clippers as more like the rounded team, better
because, like,
better cast, better support.
To your
around
point
their-
on the
around their
East,
star players.
make your point on the East. When you did your standings there, you talk about regular season. I think the Warriors will be the better regular season team. That's just why I have the Warriors 4.
Yeah, I think it might be like flipped around because that's when the injuries piled up for the Clippers in the postseason.
Oh, true, but like
That's when Kawhi Leonard
I don't
is
know.
out.
The 65 game thing is throwing me off because I don't know how players are gonna account for it.
Yeah.
But one thing I know, I think Kawhi Leonard doesn't give a shit.
Exactly.
But that's the thing.
Yeah, but just to recap, my 6 is Warriors, 5 is Mavs, 4 is Clippers.
6 is Mavs, 5 is Clippers, 4 is Warriors.
Yeah, and for me, interchangeable, all 3. I just have this vibe that the Clippers will be healthy.
Even if one of them's out, I think they're good enough to be at least a top 5 team.
Yeah.
That's all. That's why I
All
incorporated.
right, number 3.
Top 3 are interchangeable for me as well.
Yes.
But I'm gonna finish. Let's go 3. I have the Lakers.
I have the Phoenix Suns.
So I have the Lakers at number 3. I don't know. I don't know.
You know.
It's just I could see them being a number 1 team. I genuinely can because they have the continuation. They added the pieces, and you're gonna have a motivated LeBron and AD from especially with what they've said about the Nuggets this year. How Nuggets, Bruce Brown always talked about them, blah blah blah, right? And the same thing this year. Not Bruce Brown, Michael Malone. But that being said, I just think they're gonna be a third place team because I'm taking injuries into account. That's it. Nothing more to it. I know you're gonna say KD hasn't been the healthiest guy either, but they still have Booker and Bradley Beal. Whereas if one of LeBron and AD goes down, I don't know if I could rely on D'Angelo Russell. Austin Reeves, can he continue what he did last year? Is the big question mark.
For me,
at the end of the day,
the reason why I have the Suns is like if one of them goes down, right? Yes, you have Booker and Beal. Like I'm assuming, because I'm saying like say KD goes down, you still have Booker and Beal. Yes, you have the little bit more star power, but after that, I don't know who you have. Whereas the Lakers, after that, I trust them a lot more.
I know. Or we have a guest video coming out. We've talked about with him. That's coming out this weekend, by the way. But I'm not gonna disclose who it is. He's a big basketball guy. That's the only hint you'll get.
Yeah.
He was saying something about the defense, and I agree with that. But the thing is, when it comes to the regular season, again, the 65 game factor, we don't know how crazy hard people are gonna go. To the point where I'm like, that offense could carry you to a regular season berth because I have the Suns number 1. I have the Suns number 1. I have the Nuggets number 2.
They're interchangeable, right?
Yeah.
I guess at the end of the day, like
That's the reason why I have the Suns number 1.
that's you have your reasons. There's also a lot of vibe as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, my number 2 team is the Denver Nuggets.
So you give the Lakers 1.
I give the Lakers 1.
Okay.
I just feel like the Lakers just.
I have the Nuggets 2 as well.
Yeah, Nuggets for me, they're gonna have a slight little fall off. Like obviously, it's not gonna be nothing big. Jokic is still that guy. Murray's still that guy. Aaron Gordon's been good fill in piece for them.
They did not replace Bruce Brown. And
But
I
yeah,
think
we'll
that's
see
more of a hit in the playoffs.
We'll
than the
see
regular
if that's
season.
a Christian Braun step up spot or not.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll find out during the regular season how that goes. But yeah, no, Nuggets. I guess a little bit hangover, a little bit
I just think
bit of
a
just a
yeah.
little loss in Bruce Brown kind of will affect them just a little bit, but like they're still a very good team.
Yeah. Again, I think the Suns are more motivated in the regular season. I think the Lakers are also more motivated in the regular season. Again, I also think
it's the
I also
opposite.
think the Clippers are more motivated in the regular season if they're healthy and they could get the number 1
I don't
seed
think
somehow.
I think the Lakers and Nuggets are more motivated in the regular season. Like I think they're more primed for the regular season than the Suns.
See, I think the opposite.
Because
I think
at the end,
because I like the Lakers defense is elite, right? We get that. You have Anthony Davis. You have LeBron James could handle his own. Austin Reeves could handle his own. D'Angelo Russell did say he wants to be better at it. Torian Prince is not a slouch. You have Jared Vanderbilt. You have Jackson Hayes.
That kind of the defense for me is like it's kind of helps more in the regular season.
I just think the offense is more in the regular season, so that's why I'm giving them the edge. And realistically, I think Booker motivated as hell.
For me, but for me, I just like see that like Lakers defense is the one thing that's going to stay consistent.
And the other, but here's the thing.
Stay consistent from game 1 to game 82. But here's the thing.
Again, you brought up the injury point. Anthony Davis. Unfortunately, it is true.
It's true.
But again, for him, it's more freak accidents than anything. But if Anthony Davis goes down, then the defense goes downhill with him. That's the point.
Yeah, but I feel like you've done enough around.
But I think
to be better.
I think if LeBron goes down, you have enough around, and Anthony could anchor that defense well enough. Because Christian Wood ain't a defensive guy either.
What about Jackson Hayes?
What
is he? I don't know.
He's random. He's not an offensive guy, but
I'm not saying offensive,
he's a shot blocker, but he ain't Anthony Davis. Like Anthony Davis could defend the perimeter.
Yeah.
As well, right? So
for me.
But so ultimately, I had Suns 1, Nuggets 2, and Lakers 3 to round off the West.
Lakers, Nuggets, Suns. All right, let's go into play-in spots for the East. My 7-8 matchup was Knicks Pacers.
Mine was Miami Pacers.
I gave it to Pacers.
I gave it to Miami.
Yeah, so Pacers are my 7 seed.
Miami's my 7 seed.
Nets Raptors play. I don't know. I'm just gonna say Raptors just because.
I said Raptors beat the Nets.
Yeah, and
then I said Raptors beat the Pacers. And
Raptors your 8 seed.
8 seed.
Yeah, since the Knicks kind of lost, I'll give the edge to the Knicks as an 8 seed.
Yeah.
And then the Raptors are my 9 seed.
Other side, my 7-8 was Grizzlies versus Kings. I gave it to the Kings.
Mine was Grizzlies Thunder. I gave it to Thunder.
And then 9-10 I had Thunder Timberwolves. I gave it to the Thunder.
My 9-10 was Kings Pelicans. I gave it to Kings.
Then I had Kings are my 7 seed because even though they were my 8 seed on the regular. I have OKC beating the Grizzlies, taking the 8 seed.
Yeah, so it's kind of similar. So Thunder is my 7 seed, even though they're my 8 seed. Kings are my 9 seed, and they're my 8 seed. They beat the Grizzlies in the second play-in matchup.
Okay, let's finish up the regular season. Oh, sorry, you want to do playoffs right now, or do you want to do awards?
Yeah, no, awards at the end.
Okay, in-season tournament.
In-season tournament quickly.
New thing that was added. Don't know how to base it on. I don't know who will take this award series at first.
I don't know.
So I just went with Nuggets beating the Celtics because I feel like, Nuggets won a championship. We might as well go for another one.
Okay. Why are we so close? I went Celtics beating Nuggets.
I went Nuggets beating Celtics. I thought you said
we're so close though, right?
Yeah, we're brothers for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. I guess. Yeah.
Okay, now this proves that we're not adopted.
Yeah, you can say that, right?
Unless we both.
This proves I'm not adopted, I guess, because I'm the younger one.
Yeah, or me. Who knows?
You adopted?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, finals matchup. I went with Bucks versus Suns.
Same.
I went with the Bucks winning.
Same.
I went finals MVP.
Giannis.
Chris Middleton.
Shut up.
I'm just kidding. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Okay, I really did not want to be boring. I went
boring. We went boring.
Partially, I didn't want to pick the Lakers because A, I didn't want to be too biased. B,
you don't be a jinx.
And I don't want to be a jinx. That's it, right? That's the reason, right? Because when we picked Man United, they're kind of been pretty bad, right? So
would you put him second?
Third.
I put him fourth.
But either way, you still have him top 4. But with this, I can't. The Honest is motivated. We saw this picture before. He asked for a Jrue Holiday trade. They won a championship right away. Now you have a motivated Dame. You're going to get that out of it. Suns, I still gave it to them. I think, I feel like they can defensively lock in when they need to because you have Frank Vogel as your coach. Right? Does he fit the personnel? I don't know. But we'll see. I went boring. I went Giants. Giannis and the Bucks beating the Suns. I think Dame is primed to win a chip this year. He finally left Portland.
It's boring. It's boring, but at the end of the day, like when you make a move,
but at the same time,
when you make a move that big, like it's kind of hard not to.
From an NBA fan, it's supposed to be Lakers and Celtics. Battle of 18 or 7. I think it's Battle of 18.
Yeah, so winner gets.
And
18.
you still have elite teams on both sides.
Yeah,
I think that's what the NBA probably wants.
It's rigged. If that's a final, it's rigged. All right.
Almost had it last year.
Huh?
Almost got it last year.
It's rigged if that's the finals.
All right. Coaches
on the hot seat, right?
I have so 2 names I wrote right away from the West. Chris Finch is a guy I could see get fired. 100%. I could see him get fired mid-season, and Mike Budenholzer is waiting.
Yeah.
As well.
But
Number 2, I have Jason Kidd, who could get fired mid-season or end of the year, because that Mavs team is the biggest range for me in the West. Would you agree?
yeah, 100%.
In terms of like range.
Those are mine, right? Genuinely, those are mine.
Someone else I could see on the Western side could be, I could see Willie Green, but I can't blame him if Zion's not healthy.
If they're not healthy, right? You can't really-
I can't blame him too much. Out of the shittier teams, I'm not gonna say anyone. I don't think Chauncey goes. Right.
Ime is not going.
Yeah, Ime is not going. Mike Brown might have, if he does bad this year and next year, then that's the next year's problem.
That's the next year thing, yeah.
Because coaches have short leasers. I don't care what anybody says they do.
They do.
On the East side, I wrote Billy Donovan is the guy. It's kind of like a St. Louis Blues vibe with Craig Berube.
Yeah.
Mid-season or just be gone by the end of the year.
Yeah.
I wanted Adrian Griffin.
Same.
Because
I generally do.
Because we have him winning it all, so that means he's safe. We have him safe.
The expectation is high. It's very high.
Because normally we don't want to put first-year head coaches there, but you got literally the favorite team to win it all.
Yeah, 100%.
And you got Terry Stotts gone somehow. So
yeah, as well. That's
and Giannis and Dame will have all the control there, and we know it.
Yeah.
So I have Adrian Griffin going because of that. That's the main one.
Those are mine.
I don't think anyone else is really, unless someone really shits the bed. Like I don't want to see Wes Unseld Jr. get fired because they're gonna be
Monty Williams not getting fired.
Monty Williams should not. If they do, they're dumb because they paid him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hornets coach. I don't even know who it is.
Same. I'll be honest.
That's how bad Charlotte's been.
The last Hornets coach I remember was James Borrego.
Yeah, it's not him anymore.
I'm pretty sure it's not him. Yeah.
I think it's Steve Clifford. Yeah, it is.
It is Steve Clifford, right?
It's Steve Clifford, formerly of the Magic,
Former
right?
Magic, yeah.
Yeah, I could see him going. He's old. I don't care.
He's old.
As simple as that.
No, we want you to keep your job. Like we right? Like we don't want you to be jobless.
Speaking of
well, I don't know about him. He kind of said it. He was kind of
father
aggressive.
son. No, I'm saying that, like, look what happened with Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, father son commentary duo possible. Doc Rivers, Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers might have signed with ESPN as an analyst, but we'll do maybe some calls with Doc Rivers, who's doing ESPN games with Doris Burke, I think.
Wow,
and,
yeah. So
Jeff Van Gundy's not there anymore either, right? So
he's on the mic.
And Mark Jackson, I think, is not there anymore.
Yo, Mark Jackson's gone.
Yeah, I think he's gone too.
That's depressing. I like them.
But okay,
that trio was pretty good, yo. Breen, Gundy, and Mark Jackson.
Yeah, Breen is still there.
Yeah. So, if Breen is gone, bro, that's just ESPN should like not be a network. They should never cover basketball again.
Okay.
If they fire Mike Breen.
You have any hot takes on top of your head? Like, based on the standings, we didn't really have any big ones.
Not really, right? Hot takes.
Hot take for me could be if the Bucks start off bad, Adrian Griffin gets fired mid-season.
Yeah, that's
like
that's very bold.
I'm not saying Budenholzer comes back.
Yeah.
But I'm saying someone else who could be available to come back and coach. You know, Doc Rivers is sitting there, but I don't think he should be the guy either. But yeah, that's a hot take, right? Like Adrian Griffin is the first coach fired or like the mid-season fire.
That's a big hot take. I don't know what to really say here. And when I don't say, when in doubt, just support your team. Raptors are winning the East.
Okay, I can't even say that with the Lakers though. That they're gonna win the West because they're actually primed to favorite.
Well, okay, fine. I'm gonna change that. I'm just gonna say it. Raptors top 3 hot take.
Okay.
Very very hot, very bold, and I don't believe.
I guess Dallas.
I don't believe myself saying it right now.
I guess Dallas missing the playoffs some way in some capacity.
Yeah.
Not saying including the play-in spot is a pretty hot take, big hot take. Very quickly, there's only 5 true contenders. We said the 2 from the East and the 3 from the West are going to be Suns, Nuggets, Lakers. Or are you going to put the Clippers in there as well if they're healthy?
What?
Or the Okay, so it's the Suns, Lakers, Nuggets, Celtics, Bucks are for sure championship contender locks.
Suns,
right?
Lakers,
Nuggets,
Bucks,
Celtics.
Celtics.
Are you putting the Clippers in there? And you know you're
no,
if you know they're healthy 100%.
100%, then yes.
Okay.
Then yes.
What about the Warriors? And they're 100% healthy.
Yeah, they're on the brink as well.
And that's it. No one else from the West.
No one else.
Okay, so 2 guys on the brink, assuming health with the Lakers as well. Okay, makes sense then.
Yeah.
Okay, that's our standings. We're gonna get into our awards very quickly.
Yeah.
Hot takes is tough to come up on the spot, but I want to see if I'm not missing anything else before we get into awards.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, okay, nothing really.
Spent a lot of time on the standings for sure.
I mean, we had to get through each team
But
somewhere.
yeah, awards, just to end it off quickly,
Okay,
we'll start off
let's
with
get executive of the year out of the way.
executive of the year. I
I
think
have Brad Stevens and John Horst as my finalists. John Horst is the Bucks GM. Brad Stevens is on the Celtics front office. But I went with my guy, Rob Pelinka.
so. You went with Rob Pelinka.
Yeah,
I went with Horst number 1,
because of the trade.
Stevens number 2,
Yeah.
Pelinka number 3.
I just went with Pelinka.
Yeah.
I had to go. I was really biased. What's the next not so big one? Clutch?
Yeah, we'll clutch. This is a new
Um,
award.
I don't know how to judge this because we're not analytics people.
I don't know either. I'll be honest.
So
with you.
I went number 3, Shea. Because in
Yeah.
order for them to be even at my playoff team, or at least in this case they're a playing team, he has to be clutch. Jimmy Butler is number 2. For you, he has to be number 1 probably. And number 1, I went good old Damian Lillard.
Me, I didn't put Butler on my list.
Okay.
Number 3, I went Damian Lillard.
Okay.
Number 2, I went with Ice Trey.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Number 1, I said it before. Curry's got to be that guy.
Yeah.
Curry, so I went with Curry.
Okay. 6 man of the year. I went number 3, Christian Wood.
Okay.
I went number 2, Emmanuel Quickly.
Yeah.
And I went number 1, Derek White.
Okay.
So Derek White's my winner.
Yeah, mine is a little bit different. But
Now,
not.
granted, I don't know who.
My winner is different.
I don't know who's going to start from these guys. I think none of them are going to start.
Yeah. I hope my guy's not starting.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's not a starter, but I really hope my winner's not starting.
Okay.
Number 3, Quickly. Number 2, Derek White. Number 1, Malik Monk.
Yeah, I don't think he starts. I think
It's
I think
Herder,
it's
right?
Herder.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
went with Malik Monk. I got
So you
Malik
went with the
Monk.
guy that finished 7th on your list or 9th on your list to win 6 man of the year.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there's like. you can
I mean,
still-
my guys are all in the top 5. That's it.
yeah. I'm not. 6-man for me. Like MVP is kind of more standing based, but like 6-man. I'll be honest with you. Other than coach of the year, I don't really base it on standings too much. I just want to see the best play.
I base coach of the year for me is not standings based.
Yeah.
For me, it's
okay.
narrative based.
Well, we'll see.
Number 3, coach. Let's go MIP.
MIP. Yeah.
Tough one. This is the toughest one.
It's a tough one.
Number 3, I went Tyrese Halliburton.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Number 2, I went Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Number 1, I went Mikal Bridges.
All right. Number 3, I went Josh Giddey.
Okay.
Number 2, I went Jalen Green.
Okay.
Number 1, I went Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes number 1.
Yeah, no, I think Mikal Bridges, in order for that team to do good, he has to be Laurie Marketing.
Yeah, let's go coach of the year next.
So number 3, it was a toss up. I went Frank Vogel, but I definitely could have put Rick Carlisle here. Number 2, I went Mark Daigneault.
Yeah,
Thunder.
Thunder coach.
Number 1, I went Nick Nurse.
That's fair.
If Harden ain't gonna be there, not gonna play properly, or not show up, he's got to coach somehow to be a top 3, top 4 team. And the reason why he won it with the Raptors was he took a team with no superstar. Now, this team, but a lot of depth. This one, they have a superstar, but not too much depth around him. That's crazy good.
Yeah.
So that's why I went with Nick Nurse as winning it all.
Number 3, Darwin Ham.
Okay.
Number 2, I mentioned it before. Spoelstra's in my conversation.
Yeah.
Number 1, if you could, like, you're a rookie head coach, and with that many expectations, if you find a way to pull it off,
It's a regular season award, though.
I'm gonna give it to.
You give him number 1, so it makes sense.
I'm gonna give it to Adrian Griffin.
Yeah.
Right. I think Budenholzer won in 2019 when the Bucks were 1 seed then. So kind of giving it like same
it's
vibes
tough
and well.
because like your argument is you have Dame and Giannis, and if you barely get it, let's just say then it's like if you're by far first place,
then
it's good. But I don't think that's gonna be the case. But then you could give it
we'll
like
see.
Mike Brown got 3rd place and got it right. So
yeah, we'll go rookies next.
yeah, let's go rookies. Depoy and then MVP.
I feel like a rookie might be the same.
Yeah, I went Scoot number 3.
Scoot, Chet, Wemby.
Yeah, Scoot number 3, Chet number 2, Wemby number 1. Simple.
This is like you got Wemby, you got baby Wemby, and you got the guy who got picked up. Actually, no, it was Miller. Miller was second.
Brandon Miller was 2nd. And again, I'm not trusting Charlotte, so I ain't
exactly.
Brandon
So
Miller.
Scoot Henderson.
Scoot Henderson gonna have the ball in his hands,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They're gonna be a fun team. So Scoot Henderson will be throwing lobs to DeAndre Ayton all day and Jeremy Grant all day and Shaden Sharp all day.
Yeah.
He'll play and yeah. So and then
right.
Chet for me is gonna be the number 2 guy. I don't think it's gonna be Giddey. So he's gonna be a big factor. And then we already know what the hell Wemby's doing.
Exactly. Depoy.
Number 3, Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
I wish he wins it.
Yeah.
Again, part of the reason I don't want to jinx it either. Number 2, Bam Adebayo.
Yeah.
Number 1, Evan Mobley.
Okay. Mobley's my number 2.
Okay.
My winner is Giannis.
Who's number 3?
Victor Wembanyama.
What?
I went with,
So that's your hot take.
I had to save it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna try to ruin my words.
True. So that's your biggest hot take.
Yeah, like Wembanyama could win Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, look what he's doing,
Bro,
Look what he's doing, though. Like,
you have him 14th.
huh?
You have him 14th.
Bro, this guy's gonna make insane blocks like he's been doing
He
right
ain't
now.
gonna be top 3, bro.
Bro.
Only way he'll get top 3 is if they make a play-in spot, minimum.
Okay, so they might. Who knows?
Oh my god.
Bro, I can't deny
This
that
is just
fact.
meant to be just like hot take purposes.
Exactly.
You just left it.
I had to save
You
it.
saw tall
I'm not,
man.
I'm not gonna ruin my award.
No, I'm saying in general.
Yeah,
When you were deciding on it, you're like, you know what? This is gonna be my hot take.
this was my hot take.
Well, who's your winner?
Huh? Giannis is my winner.
Okay.
Do you see?
Yeah, makes sense.
I said Wemby's third.
Yeah, I know, but even then, it's
Even
still
then,
a massive hot
it is
take.
outrageous, but
It's
I had to
very
say that. I'm not
outrageous.
trying to ruin my words. But yeah, last one. We're gonna wrap it up here with this, and wrap up the episode here with this as well.
MVP's tough.
MVP. Is
It's tough. I'm gonna throw some names out there. There were people that were considered: Embiid, Luka, Jokic, Tatum. You could throw 80 on LeBron. You could throw Kawhi if he ends up playing more than 65 games. I went number 3, Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
I went number 2, Luka Doncic. I went number 1. The same exact argument I have for Nick Nurse winning it. I have Joel Embiid winning it as a second year in a row.
Me, I kind of changed it up from last year. I still kept one guy in there, which was Giannis. He's my number 2. My number 3, Luka. I kind of wanted him to take that MVP step. I think he really can do that this year, especially if the Mavs are gonna be my playoff team guaranteed. Number 1, I said it before. I'm gonna say it third time. Steph Curry.
Okay.
I like to say, like, I genuinely don't know who's gonna be that consistent second guy. That, like, this guy's gonna take that load
your
offensively.
Steph Curry case is my Embiid case, essentially.
Like, he's gonna just take that load offensively and just be unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nick Nurse's usage of Embiid is gonna help him win it.
90% usage rate historically. Historically,
You know, it's
insane.
tough, right? Because I wanted to consider Giannis because of the Dame ad. I didn't consider Giannis for that reason. Unless like Giannis puts some crazy numbers, like you have him in Depoy winner, so it helps with that for sure. Yeah, I don't know. You guys, it was tough. This is definitely the hardest preview I've done.
Yeah, it's a lot.
We went boring at the finals, but everything else was somehow we matched.
My hot take final is the Raptors versus Thunder. With the Raptors winning it all.
Okay. No, that's outrageous. Victor Wembanyama's gonna be top 3 Depoy this year.
Bro, watch it happen. Watch it happen.
Okay, no, but my caveat is if he's somehow in a play-in spot, I'll agree with it. But if he's not gonna be in a play-in spot, I don't agree with it.
Bro, I'm be disappointed if Wemby doesn't average like 4 blocks a game.
I will kind of not. I mean,
That's a lot. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot.
he's
But
probably playing power forward. They can probably put him in the perimeter and he'll probably block shots there too.
he'll block everywhere, man. He's gonna
God.
block
Dude, that whole list threw me off.
wherever you put him on the court, Wembanyama's gonna block a shot.
That
right?
threw me off.
You shoot it 15 feet in the air, Wembanyama's gonna block it because he's already done it in the preseason.
Okay, that just genuinely still threw me off. I did not expect.
Bro, I had to save my hot take, right?
No, not just saving it. I'm just like the fact that you said it. It doesn't mean you have to say it.
I
I don't
said it,
care
bro.
that you saved it.
I said it.
Oh my. Okay.
All right, that's
what do I owe
that's
you?
pretty much it.
What do I owe you if he gets it?
If he
he's
wins,
top 3.
if he's top 3,
If he's top 3.
like, if he's in the nominees,
if he's a nominee as a non-play-in team.
full ownership of the podcast. I'm just kidding.
We have 0%.
Yeah, we have
each right now.
0% each. I don't know.
You want me to give you $100 on the pod? What do you want me to do? Because like
you already buy me enough mucho, so I guess.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Because there's no chance.
Bro, book it right now. Wemby's gonna be a top 3.
This is a good thing about the podcast.
Yeah.
Because it's on record now.
Exactly.
Okay. Because no one knows what you thought about Phillies. I could be like, yeah, you bullshit about the Phillies.
Oh, I didn't bullshit about Phillies. Speaking of Phillies, they might count them themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But
that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Jobin loves to entertain you guys for sure.
That's say stupid shit.
As always, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Share us your thoughts. I think a YouTube poll should be out today. On a community post about, I think it's who's gonna win the championship. Check out more polls coming out soon. Guest video should be out this weekend. Check out our regular podcast episode where we covered everything but the NBA out yesterday. On Monday, to be exact, because it's tripping me out that we're on Monday now.
Yeah.
And tier list should be out this week. Once again, I know some of you guys may have already saw it. It's the same tier list, but just we needed to fix some stuff because YouTube restrictions. That's it.
Exactly.
Other than that, we appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.